Look at your hands after harvesting raspberries. Scratched, sticky, maybe bleeding. Now look at your blueberry bushes. Netting tangled across the top, soil pH adjusted like a laboratory experiment, birds circling like they've been watching you all season. We have been trained to believe that berries equal work. Thorns, acidic soil amendments, daily picking in the heat, a handful of fruit after months of babysitting. And we call this normal. But what if I told you the most generous berry on earth doesn't grow on a bush at all? It grows on a tree. A tree so aggressive, so productive, and so resilient that some cities banned it for being too messy. Too messy? That's the word they chose. Not invasive, not poisonous, not dangerous, messy. Because when abundance falls from the sky faster than sidewalks can handle, people mistake fertility for inconvenience. This is the story of the mulberry tree, once one of the most economically important trees in the world. Entire trade routes depended on it. Empires planted millions of them to feed silkworms. The Silk Road was built on mulberry leaves. And today, it's ignored in garden centers while people spend fortunes on fragile berry bushes that demand constant attention. In this video, we are flipping that script. You're going to learn why mulberry might be the ultimate survival crop, the fruit tree that grows like a weed, produces like a machine, and asks almost nothing in return. No thorns, no complicated pruning rituals, no bird netting wars. Just shake the branch and it rains food. Stop fighting plants that barely tolerate you. Start growing one that wants to win. Welcome back to the vault.
Most fruit trees teach patience. You plant an apple tree and wait 5 to 7 years before seeing serious production. Peaches demand pruning lessons. Pears sulk if conditions aren't perfect. Mulberry does not believe in patience. Mulberry believes in momentum. Plant a 1-foot whip, basically a stick with roots, and under good conditions, it can explode to 8 or even 10 feet in a single growing season. Read that again, 10 feet in 1 year. That's not hype, that's documented growth behavior, especially in vigorous varieties like Illinois everbearing or Pakistan mulberry. Why so fast? Because mulberry evolved as a pioneer species. In nature, it colonizes disturbed ground quickly, racing upward to capture sunlight before competitors shade it out. Speed is its survival strategy. And speed means fruit arrives early. While most trees are still establishing, mulberries often produce berries in their second year. By year 3 or 4, you're not sampling fruit, you're managing volume. Time matters in gardening. Every year you wait for production is a year you're buying fruit from someone else. Mulberry collapses that timeline. It is the only fruit tree that can realistically keep up with human impatience. There's another hidden advantage to that speed: resilience. Fast-growing trees recover quickly from pruning mistakes, storm damage, or even neglect. Cut it back hard, it responds with vigorous new shoots. Forget to water during a dry spell? Established mulberries tolerate drought better than most soft fruits. This is not a delicate orchard specimen, this is a survival engine. And here's the psychological shift most gardeners miss. When a plant grows slowly, you treat it like porcelain. When a plant grows explosively, you relax. Mulberry removes anxiety from fruit growing. You're not protecting a fragile investment, you're managing abundance, and abundance changes everything.
Now let's talk about the moment that changes people forever. You walk under a mature mulberry tree in early summer. The branches are heavy, not with a polite scattering of fruit, but with clusters so dense they look like they're dripping. Then you do something radical. You stop picking one berry at a time. Instead, you spread a sheet on the ground. You grab a branch and you shake. Thump, 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 thump. In seconds, ripe berries fall like summer rain. This is not harvesting. This is gravity doing the work for you. Compare that to strawberries bent over for an hour filling a bowl, or raspberries navigating thorns like a medieval punishment device. Mulberry flips the labor equation. A mature tree can produce 30 to 50 pounds of fruit per season, sometimes more. And unlike cherries, which ripen all at once and overwhelm you for a single week, many mulberry varieties are ever-bearing, ripening gradually for 6 to 8 weeks. That means daily snacks, daily harvests, daily abundance. And the birds? Yes, they love mulberries. But here's the twist. When a tree produces this much, there's enough for everyone. In fact, many permaculture growers intentionally plant mulberries as a sacrificial tree to distract birds from other crops. It becomes a wildlife magnet, pulling pressure away from your blueberries and cherries. Now, imagine this in a survival context. A single established tree, minimal input, no spraying, no complicated soil chemistry. And every summer, it rains calories, sweet, dark, antioxidant-rich fruit falling faster than you can eat it. That's not a hobby plant. That's food security growing in plain sight. Critics love one word when it comes to mulberries: messy. They'll show you a sidewalk stained purple, a driveway with crushed berries underfoot, a patio splattered during peak drop, and they'll say, "See, that's why cities banned them." But let's ask a better question. Why are you planting a food tree over concrete? Mulberry isn't messy, it's abundant. The problem isn't the fruit, it's placement. Plant a mulberry over grass and the fallen berries disappear into the soil. Planted near chickens and dropped fruit becomes free feed, converted into eggs within 24 hours. Planted in a food forest guild, and the waste becomes mulch, compost, microbial life. The so-called mess becomes energy cycling through your system. This is a design issue, not a plant flaw. Suburban landscaping treats trees as decorations. Permaculture treats them as engines. If you put a mulberry next to a pristine white driveway, yes, you'll get purple stains. But plant it along a fence line, in a pasture, at the back of your yard where lawn used to grow for no reason. Now the falling fruit feeds soil instead of staining cement. There's another hidden truth behind the mess complaint. People are uncomfortable with visible abundance. We're used to controlled production, tidy orchards, measured yields, supermarket packaging. Mulberry breaks that illusion. It overproduces. It drops fruit freely. It refuses to behave like a boutique crop. And that makes it powerful, because in a world where most fruit demands constant effort, mulberry simply shows up year after year and delivers. The mess is just proof that the tree is doing its job. And if you design your space correctly, that mess becomes your advantage.
Now here's the part that makes mulberry almost unfair. Once you have one tree, you could make 10 for free. No grafting skills required, no expensive rootstocks, no complicated nursery orders. Mulberries are incredibly easy to propagate from cuttings. In late winter or very early spring, before the tree fully wakes up, you take a healthy pencil-thick branch about 8 to 12 inches long, clean-cut, sharp pruners. Stick that cutting into moist soil or even directly into a prepared garden bed, leaving 1 or 2 buds above ground. Keep it lightly watered, and that's it. Mulberries root aggressively. In many cases, they outperform traditional fruit trees in strike rate. What feels like a simple stick becomes a rooted sapling within weeks. By the end of the season, you may have a small tree. By next year, you have height. By year 2 or 3, you have fruit. This is how civilizations planted millions of them. During the height of silk production, entire regions propagated mulberries at scale to feed silkworms. The tree's willingness to clone itself made it an agricultural powerhouse. And here's why that matters to you. Most fruit trees are slow investments. Mulberry is a replicating asset. Plant one in your yard,
Start a second along the fence, add one near the chicken run. Gift a cutting to a friend. In 5 years, you don't just have fruit, you have infrastructure. And because mulberries tolerate pruning extremely well, you can shape them low for easy harvest or keep them compact with annual cuts. It's a tree that forgives mistakes. It wants to grow. It wants to multiply. All you have to do is say yes.
We've been conditioned to think fruit growing must be difficult. We accept thorns. We accept bird wars. We accept tiny harvests after months of effort. And then we call it rewarding. Mulberry challenges that entire narrative. It grows fast. It fruits early. It produces heavily. It survives neglect. And when critics complain that it's too messy, what they're really saying is, it produces more than I'm prepared to handle. That's not a flaw. That's abundance. Imagine your grandchildren walking into the backyard and shaking a branch for a snack. Imagine a tree that feeds birds, chickens, soil microbes, and humans, all without fertilizer schedules and constant pruning diagrams. This is what real food security looks like. Not fragile systems that collapse without intervention, but resilient trees that outlive trends. If you're serious about permaculture, homesteading, or even just lowering your grocery bill, stop thinking like a consumer. Start thinking like someone planting legacy. Mulberry is not trendy, it's timeless. So stop fighting thorns. Stop adjusting soil pH every weekend. Plant a tree that grows like it has something to prove. And when it rains fruit for the first time, when you hear berries hitting the tarp like summer hail, you'll understand why this forgotten tree once built empires. Plant one, then plant another. Subscribe to The Vault, and let's rediscover the plants that still know how to take care of themselves.